Hey guys, today I'll be teaching you guys how to use Pour and Go Blue Devil head gasket sealer on your 1994 through 1998 and even maybe 1999 to 2004 Mustang. And technically any car follows the same thing. We're just going to follow the dynamics of the car. The V8 is not the same as the 3.8, but it's the same kind of concept. And it's a Ford, so it's just a guide on how to do it with a Ford. And all right, let's get started. Step one, we're gonna make sure our engine is not hot. You want it cool. You want to be able to touch your car and your car not to touch you back. So you don't want this. You want to be able to do this. Boom. If you can take this off without your hand getting disintegrated by coolant, then you are in good standing. So first step, take your radiator cap off. You're not gonna need that at all. Second step, you're gonna need a flathead screwdriver because you're going to need two. Right, here's your radiator. Mine's a little old, and also I have blue RTV on this, and it's not a good job. This is just a get to work car. This is not my VTEC Honda Civic that I will be making a video on the head gasket replacement soon enough if I decide that is the video I want to do. So first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to have a lower radiator hose in the 3.8. Again, I'm not exactly sure where it's going to be at on the 3.8 or the 4.6 or the 5.0, because I know the 94 and 95 had a 5.0, so don't ask me there. So you're going to have this lower radiator hose. You're going to want to go ahead and pop that off. So let's go ahead and... All right, so this video is primarily going to be targeted towards the people who don't have a lot of money, and they don't have the money nor the time to go about getting a new head gasket. And I can't seem to find my flathead, so I'm going to make this the whole excuse. I'm going to be using a penny. Yes, you can use a singular penny instead of using a flathead. See? Boom. Get in there. You can turn it. You're going to need both top and bottom off, so I'm going to go ahead and cut to me taking this bottom off with a penny. Here we are at the most awkward angle. You can see clearly. I'm still using a penny. Gonna turn it. Loosen this bad boy. My coolant is still a little warm, and I'm doing this per instructions. See the coolant leaking out on the ground, aka just water right now, because I had to refill it because I realized I had a blown head gasket. Mine's just a minor blow. If you're having back pressure, like if you put something in this and it flies out, you're gonna need a new head gasket regardless. Because back pressure, you can't put anything in it because it'll just launch it out. And that's not good. I'm trying my best to get this stuff come off without being aggressive to me. Okay. Guess we're gonna have to penny it a little bit more. You are gonna need sockets, by the way, so just because I'm using a penny doesn't mean you can use a penny the whole way through. Man, sometimes I'd prefer to use a quarter, but I couldn't find one. It'd help if you used a quarter. You won't be seeing this part. I'm gonna cut it out or not. I don't know. Depends on if this comes off or not. No, there we go. Yeah. Oh yeah. Drain it. It's draining out of the block now. Since it's coming this way, that means it's draining out of the block. Okay. Next up is you're going to need a wrench, preferably. And it's going to house a 10 millimeter. I think this is 11, so give me one sec. What you're going to do is take this 10. I'm going to go ahead and loosen This one is going to need a little love and attention because it's stripped, hence to why I'm using a 11. So that one is like that, and let's go ahead and take this off. I believe this is 10, but I'm using aftermarket bolts because the original owner stripped it and we had to get new ones. So yep, it is a size 10. So we're gonna just give it little turns. Don't worry how I'm getting all these amazing shots. I am totally not standing on top of my car right now. I recommended just that to loosen it. Now, I do recommend, you can use it, but it is going to be a pain. So I do recommend getting a socket. You're gonna thank me later. So let's see if I can get this in here. I said I was gonna cut to it, but clearly I decided I wasn't gonna cut to it. I'm gonna try to get good angles. A lot of these people who be making videos really just got awful angles. Like, okay, so this is the front of the car here looking. Go forwards. Boom. This is your thermostat housing. You're gonna need to remove your thermostat for this. I'm just gonna cut to me popping it off actually this time. Through further analysis, I've actually found out that probably taking this hose off right here and then using tube extenders would probably work better. So, and back and forth tugs, and then boom, get it off. And that makes this job 1,000 times easier. All right, now I'm gonna cut off to taking this off. 1 and bolt 2. And here this comes. I've been running water through mine for a while because I'm broke, unlike others. So because of that, and because of blue RTV, my thermostat comes out looking like this. Well, we won't need this anyways. You can use the old one. I know a lot of people tell you when using sealant, you're not supposed to use your old one. I know how people say. I know what they tell me. They're mean people. Anyways, just gonna put this to the side. You can reuse it. That's why we're taking it out, to reuse it and to not gunk the system. Just gonna take this off, and we'll just use blue RTV over it instead of using the original one. Because if you notice, whenever you use older gaskets, blue RTV just kind of eats it away in a sense. So blue RTV, I recommend, because let's just be honest, the gaskets that AutoZone and stuff sell you are just, they're garbage. I'm just gonna be honest, they're complete garbage. Also, I recommend those bolts that you took out to put those in your pocket, because losing those would make your day very, very bad. You're gonna have to take that trip to Home Depot you never wanted to take. All right, so now that you've got your thermostat out, next step is you actually want to put this housing back on, and I'm gonna clean mine up a little bit, but I'm just gonna, without the thermostat in it, just put it back on. 3, 2, 1. Boom. That was actually easy. Ignore the fact that I had to put blue RTV off of it. Bam. I'm gonna go ahead and just wiggle this tube back on, and we're going to go ahead and just tighten this down with this handy little tool that I didn't even knew I had until now. Again, you can still use a penny, or actually probably better to use a quarter. I asked somebody to help be my cameraman for this video, but everybody said I'm not feeling it, so I'm having to seal this and everything on my own. All right, so that is back in. What I'm gonna go ahead and do is loosen this one. I'm just gonna, these Mustang ones tend to work better if you wiggle it a little bit. All right, next step. I was told to do this. Next step, this is the first time I've ever used Blue Devil. I've used others, and it was a little bit different. They all kind of followed the same concept. But what we're gonna go ahead and do is, now that that's open, we're just gonna go and get our water hose. I hope I don't destroy my engine doing this. Well, if you watch all the way to the end of the video, I will tell you whether or not this actually worked and if I did it correctly. Actually, you know what? I'll tell you at the beginning of the video. Just for context, when you see that text that pops up that says, yes, this did work, you know what I meant by yes, this did work. Whew. Just gonna sit this under the VTEC Honda's spare wheel. Keep this kinked. By the way, you definitely want to do this, especially, I know, especially if you have coolant in there, because it works better with water. Did the VTEC hold it? See, everybody, this is why you buy VTEC, because VTEC holds your kinks in your hoses. Not my hand, though. My hand is, in fact, not VTEC. What the heck? All right, well, and this. I'm gonna go ahead and put this up. See that? It is pushing all of that, of whatever nastiness you had in your engine block, pushing it out of your engine block. There you go. Keep going until that stuff is crystal clear like the ocean, which mine is. So I'm gonna pause, take this off, and then I'll tell you where to go from here. Next thing you're gonna wanna do is just go ahead and re-plug onto it. It's a Ford, so you gotta give it a little love, otherwise it won't function. That's what I hate about Fords, is you gotta give everything a little love or it's just gonna quit on you. Okay, I'm gonna put this to 0.5. Next thing I'm gonna do is just attach this, and you're gonna retighten this bad boy. By the way, we're still on the front left side of the car. Next thing I'm gonna do is reconnect that one down there, like this. Right, 3, 2, wait. I gotta make sure I line this up right so my snap doesn't seem too stupid. Ah! All right. 3, 2, 1. Oh, I wanted to go snap and I dropped it because I just used it. All right. Next step is you want to put just a little bit of coolant in that bad boy. We're not going to use the VTEC kink right now. That sounded awful, so it does. Just going to give us a little water. Give me a sec. Ain't no cuts. Guess I'm trying not to cut. Some people also recommend draining or flushing your radiator, which is extremely easy to do. I don't feel like it. And the Mustang doesn't have a plug on the radiator cap. I think that's gonna be enough water. See, I wasn't doing that for very long. You don't want to, because you don't want there to not be able to be room for you to add the Blue Devil. All right, if you've been following all the instructions, now you should be prepared for this, the Blue Devil, which, let me tell you, you don't want to pour all at once. I stress this more than anything else. Please do not just go, none of that, none of that. All right, next up, just gonna, see, my car, it's completely cool. Make sure, before you do this, your car is completely cool. You absolutely do not want to do it when your car is not completely cool. All right, ready, go ahead. Crank this. Now add your Blue Devil. By the way, if your coolant is shooting out of this, you're already over. Go ahead and just return your Blue Devil and go get a real head gasket. Alright. Here we go. 2 minutes, 45 seconds. So at 3 minutes and 50 seconds is when we'll be done. You want to pour slowly. Do not pour faster than this. I know you may want to get this done with, but trust me, you don't want to pour any slower than this. And if you didn't put too much coolant, this should not reach the top. If you go over a minute, don't worry. It's not the end of the world. It has been a minute. I'm not done yet. I poured a little slow. There we go. Alright. And now what we're going to do is just throw this radiator cap right on. Check. Alright, I'm gonna set a 50-minute timer, and then 50 minutes from now, I'll come back and tell y'all how well this went. Ready? By the way, I'm not gonna remember to do that snap, so don't expect me to do anything. I'm gonna forget that in editing. I did remember the snap, but I'm not gonna snap because I don't feel like it. Make sure that stays in the center. If it doesn't stay in the center, you're not gonna have a good day. Yeah, but it has to stay like this on that dial. This for the whole hour. Make sure you're not leaking nothing, and Blue RTV works wonders when you apply it correctly. You know, just letting it idle. So it'll do this little thing called work. The thermostat is not in it, it's right here because we are using Blue Devil. Also, that oil is black as fuck. Alright, it's been an hour. What I have done in advance, which I forgot to start recording, was I had took this off. Took the one down there off, let it drain, I did it when I was still high pressure, so just wait till your car cools down. You want to stick a hose right here, also wait till your car cools down to flush all of it out, and then take hose, put in this, flush all that out. Now, if you do this, you might crack your block if you do it too early, so I highly recommend not doing it too early. So, next step, what we're going to do is take this, we're gonna need this. It is, like I said before, if y'all weren't paying too much attention, it is a 8mm, or you can use a flathead. It doesn't really matter. Loosen it up a bit more. Y'all can kind of see it. Feel, make sure this ring is around it. Then go ahead and tighten this back down so no coolant leaks. This was to just pop off the thing. It was. Oof, that's hot. I wish I had a camera woman. Just reach back down here. Put this on. Take this, pop this back here. Make real good sure that this shit's on. Make real good sure, and make sure that's visible. I'm gonna do two hands, one to hold the ring and one to tighten. Take this, reach in there. I highly recommend a YouTuber called Scotty Kilmer. I'm sure some of you have seen his videos pop up instead of mine. So, he's a good YouTuber. Highly recommend. Now what you're gonna do is take this here, make sure these two don't touch. Have a bad day. Just give it some wiggles. See if you can pull it back. If you can't, you're good. Next up, take this. I'm gonna go ahead and take this, loosen it on this thermostat housing. And you're gonna twist it, do whatever goofy maneuvers you've got to get to do to pop that off. Take that, put that to the side. I won't be needing that for a minute. Put that in between it. Hope you guys like my housing. Took a lot of wiring. Next thing I'm gonna do is gonna take that off, which I gotta grab my tools. I have no idea where I left off, so I hope this is where I left off. But what we got here is our thermostat housing. Toss this into your pocket. I've got no shirt on, so I'm trying to block that. I'm looking fancy. Alright, so now we got this out. You see all that blue RTV that I had all up in that because I didn't have a gasket, so I just used it and just slammed it full of blue RTV. So we're gonna what I'm gonna do is go ahead and get this cleaned up a little bit and I'll be right back. Next thing you're gonna need is your old one, which still works. A little rattly. Don't know if that is bad or not. You're gonna just boom. Boom. Like this. You get the point? Oh, no, I Alright, so next thing I'm gonna do is we can't just put that in there. No. Gotta put the blue RTV on this. Like this. 3, 2, 1. Bam. I'm pretty sure I did that uneven. Why is it so thick? Why is there so much blue RTV, you ask? Because I am not finna let this crap drip on me again. Next thing I'm gonna do, put thermostat in there, facing this big round piece facing you. I think it works fine with me whenever I face it towards me, so I'm just gonna go with that way. You just want to bolt it up real quick in 3, 2, 1, boom. Oh, I skipped steps. Oh no, my hands are all clean. What did I do? Well, what I did was I put this back on and bolted it down. That's it. That's all I did. Nothing else. Literally nothing else. What I did was I put blue RTV around it too, because Bluetooth are in it. Bluetooth RTV around it. Feel it. It's not done yet. Blue RTV you want to let sit for a little bit, and you want to sit for about, give me a sec, 1 hour. Yeah, 1 hour. Want to let it sit for about 1 hour. You're golden. Turns out on this car, I didn't actually have a blown head gasket. What I actually had is I'm burning oil on this one. So that means that I'm gonna be needing to pull the engine and putting a new one in this soon. It probably needs it anyways. Take something instead of the 3.8, take something like a 5.0, something 4.6, anything to put in there. But I'm actually burning oil, turns out. So that was useless for me, and it did nothing for me. But if you followed my instructions and you actually have a blown head gasket, you will absolutely see a difference, and it will absolutely fix your issue. Unless it's that major. But so I'm playing around with this. This was my oil. Yeah, pretty black. Put some more oil in it. Yeah, I saw this a second ago. I may have showed it on the ground a second ago. That's it. That's my oil. So what y'all want to do is put coolant in there. If you got Bluetooth TV, wait an hour. But if you don't, if you have a regular gasket, put water in there. Coolant in there, 50-50 mix or whatever you got, and put the cap on right here, start her up, she'll work. All right, now's the part where I just say the steps in order that I did. First thing I did, pop the bottom off the bottom radiator hose, pulled the top radiator hose, pulled the thermostat housing out, took the thermostat out, put the housing back, put water through the upper radiator hose, and it pours out to the bottom. Pour water into the bottom or the top cap of the reservoir, and it should flush out the bottom. Then put this back, put the lower radiator hose back, and then pour in a little bit of water. Then pour in the Blue Devil. Make sure you want to pour within a minute's interval. Don't pour any faster than a minute. And then put a little bit more water if you think you need it. Cap it off, run it for about an hour. Turn it off after an hour. Take the upper radiator hose, pop it off. Lower radiator hose, pop it off. Put water through it. Make sure you get, just like you did the first time, to get all of the Blue Devil out of there. Same thing. You want to put this water hose through this. Make sure you get rid of all the Blue Devil in there. If you don't, it starts to gunk up and you may have a passageway that could get damaged. After that, take a thermostat, put it housing off, put the thermostat in, put your gasket, blue RTV, whatever you want, in there. Boom, right up there. Then put everything back together. Upper radiator hose back to the radiator, lower radiator hose back to the radiator. Then refill this up with coolant, and then pop the cap on and just go. Unless you got blue RTV, then you gotta wait an hour like I do. Anyways, you guys have a wonderful day. Bye.